Alright, the Divinyls. I Touch Myself. Hard to say with a straight face. Fun song. Really cool little parts in here. We're going to kick it off with the intro where it just kind of builds. And it's going to be a C chord basically. And you could just start off just kind of chugging on the like the C5 chord, power chord. So just 3 on the A, 5 and 5 on the D and G. Just slowly build it. Okay, and then we kind of toggle between a C augmented. Okay, so you just kind of hit the part of that. And so basically that's going to be like a 4 on the E and then 5 and 5 on the G and B. Okay. And we can just go back and forth between that and then just take the pointer from the 4 to the 3 just to make it a regular C again. And we just kind of go back and forth between those two. Alright, and so we... Okay. And then we just hit the G, the 5 on the G to get that C note. Alright, and the verse comes in, and the first guitar, it's not necessarily just like wailing away on the chords, you know, whatever. It's he's just kind of hitting the accents of some chords and just keeping it like really simple. So it's just leading into a lot of chords basically. And we're going to start with the C, where we're going to play it like this. We're 8 and 8 on the B and E, and then 9. We're just going to play that much of it. Okay. Then we're going to come up and hit the D minor by just barring the 10s on the G, B, and E. And just kind of slide it out. Okay. Just going that C to D minor. Okay, and then we cap it off by doing the B flat. Okay, at the 7G, 6 and 6 on the B and E. And then just coming back to that C on the 8s and 9. Alright, and the second guitar for the verse, it's a little more distorted, fuzzier, but kind of mellow too. Okay. And basically he's just kind of going along with the vocal, not doing anything too crazy here. We're just kind of hitting that C note here at the 3 on A just a few times. And then we're going to come up to the 5 and then just kind of slide out of that. Okay. Alright, and then finish it by doing the same thing, just 2 frets lower. So at the 1 to 3. Okay. And you can be pretty loose with it, you don't have to be terribly precise. Alright, and the first guitar for the chorus, it's not really just jamming away through chords or anything like that. He's just doing this melody, just repeating it through the whole progression. And it's going to start here, where we're at the first fret of the B, and then we go to the first of the E, open E, back to first on the E. Okay, so that for the first measure. Alright, in the second measure, we do kind of the same start, 1 to 1 on the B and E, 3 on the E, okay, and then just back to the 1. Alright, and you just go through repeat those, and you know, you don't have to be like super precise about it, just kind of get the gist of it. something like that, just that kind of feel to it. But then towards the end of it, we kind of start with the beginning of it here. Alright. Okay, and then we just end it with a B flat chord. And just let that ring throughout. The second guitar for the chorus, it's getting a little more closer to just hitting the straight up chords going on. But it does one little odd thing where, because essentially the progression for the chorus is B flat to C to F. But the first time around, he just doesn't hit that C. It's kind of funky. But so it just sounds something like this, where we just hit that B flat, and again you want kind of a little fuzzier tone on the second guitar. Okay. And then we just rest for when like the bass would be hitting the C. And then once the second measure comes in, we just hit the low F. Okay, so right here at the first fret. But the second time around, we do hit that C. So we'll go B flat to C to F. Okay. Okay, and the last time around, it's going to jump to a quick B flat after the final F. So we just start that last time through. Okay, rest the C, hit the F, and then 2 counts in, we go back to that B flat. Just hold that for a while. Alright, and then very subtly, he hits this mimicking the vocal, where we just do a really faint, just open to 1 on the A. Okay, and then hit an open D, and then just end it on a C power chord, here at the 3A, 5D. Okay, so you put that whole end together. Just a little subtle thing there. Alright, the bridge section comes in, and the guitar one's pretty much doing similar things it does during the verse, where it just kind of hits a couple of the chord strums leading into the other. And it's going to be a newer progression here. Okay, and if you really wanted to like follow it with the bass and all that, you would just jump right into a C chord, but they don't play the C chord in the song as far as the guitar work goes. Okay, so we'd be coming off of where everybody's on C. Okay, but then we would come up to E flat. Okay, so the last count of that C that started the whole thing, just hit that, and then just lead it into an E flat, which is 6A, 888 on the DGB. So it's going to be that vibe. Rest, hold it throughout the rest of the measure, and by the end of the second measure of it, hit it again, and then lead it into an F7, which is 8A, 10D, 8G, 10B, 8E. Okay, so we go from from there, we're going to go to the A flat chord. Okay. And then we would just end it on the second measure of that, just hitting a couple of them real quick. And then just jump right back into the chorus. Okay, so it sounds something like this all together. Remember, we don't play that initial C unless you really want to. Alright, and once the second verse comes in, he kind of throws a little more, just some like garnish in there, some soloing. And so it's just going to lead right into it by doing a like a released bent 14 on the E. Okay, so we're just going to have it pre-bent. hit it and release it, come off to 11, and then do 13 on the B. Okay. A little thing there. All right, and then once we get to the last measure of the verse, he just kind of inverts it. So we're going to do 14 on the B, 11 E, and then here you can just bend at the 13. Okay. All right, solo section comes in. Kind of a interesting solo here. It's just kind of one little riff that repeats a few times, and then we come up and do a little high stuff there. Basically, we're going to be here at the 10 on the D. We just want to hit that twice. And then we do 8 on the E. All right, and we just repeat that twice. One more time. And then we go into this little scale here, where we do 11 on the E, 6, back to 8. Okay, so try that all together. Alright, and once we get through it a few times, then it comes up, adds a new little part instead of that original descending scale. We come up and we do 17 to 15 on the E, and then 16 on the B. Okay. Alright, and from there, we do 16E to 15, back to 16B, 16 to 15E, 16B. Okay, so, and it's just a little off time than the first time, so something like that. Alright, and then finish it by just bending 15 on the G. Give it a little tremolo at the end. Alright, so just put it all together. Alright, he adds one more little solo thing at the end of the third chorus. We're going to do something like this at the end where we pull off from 11 to 8 on the E and just give it some tremolo. Okay, and then we do a little scale up. Okay, we do 10 on the D, 8 to 10 on the G. Okay, and we do 8, 11 B, 8, 11 again. Okay. And then come up here, the second measure, we do 13 on the B and 12 on the E, and we just kind of hit those together and give them some tremolo there. Okay. So all together it sounds something like this. Alright, and the interlude towards the end, it's basically just going to play around on the C chord here, but it takes a little finessing here because we're gonna do some like slight muting and just kind of bouncing back and forth between some bass notes and then adding some notes and switching. So we're just gonna hit some bass notes here with that C chord. Once more, hit the high notes, back to bass notes, and then here we do some threes, so just kind of lift your ring finger off and then come back to it. Okay, so we're just kind of bouncing around here. Alright, and then we bring our pinky over, and we're going to hit some 6 on the B. Just kind of bouncing between the bass notes and the higher notes here. And like I said, you can just kind of slightly mute the bass notes too. Something like that. Thanks for checking out the video, everybody. Like it, share it, leave a comment. It's always good to hear from you. Do me a favor and hit the subscription button. I put out a video pretty frequent, so you don't want to miss out on that. Check out the links in the description box below. I have really cool links for tablature books, all the gear I use, t-shirts, fun stuff like that. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.